Hey gang, Aaron Fisher here with another episode of the Card Magic Minute. This is my chance to share with you some of the incredible lessons about card magic that my students are learning when we study together during the course of my online personal training program. Today I want to tell you a story about a student of mine named Ryan. Now I first met Ryan last year at the Sorcerer's Safari Summer Program, which is, I think, the best residential magic program in the world for campers ages 8 to 18. And Ryan was a completely talented teenager with great chops and really great potential moving forward as a magician. Recently, he signed up for some training with me, and I got to see what he's been up to. And it's been a very exciting time for him because he's recently been working in a restaurant during the weekends, brunches and that sort of thing, which is just the sort of thing I was doing when I was his age. And I think back to all the really formative, valuable lessons I learned about performing magic at that time that you can only learn when you finally take all the lessons that you've been working on at home and put them out there on the line in front of a real audience. They give you the sort of feedback you can't get any other way, and when you start to get that feedback, it changes your magic mind forever and really starts to turn you into some incredible kind of magician. So Ryan was sharing with me some of the experiences he's been having lately, and I wanted to share with you one of them because I just thought it was so perfect and so beautifully distills one of the most important lessons I think you can learn when you're just really starting to put together all of these ideas and become a real close-up magician. So Ryan was working on a trick where there was a card selected. In this case, you can see it right here. And we'll go ahead and shuffle that card into the pack, just like that. And Ryan's goal in this trick was to take the two cards, and this is a pretty standard trick. You would say that's the King of Hearts, and that's the King of Diamonds. And I'll take the King of Hearts and the King of Diamonds, and Ryan did it slightly differently, but I don't want to get into all that. Little magic. And those two kings will find one card in the pack, sandwiched between them. In this case, of course, it's the correct card, the Six of Hearts. Now that's all well enough and good, and that's a pretty standard kind of card procedure that anyone who's been doing magic a little while will sort of understand how that works. But Ryan was explaining to me that he'd been having a weird feeling while he was doing that, a certain tingling, a certain dangerous feeling. And it reminded me of how confusing it is when you're finally out there in front of the audience. You learn these tricks from a video or a DVD or a book or something like that, and the author tells you, this is how it's done, it's great, do it this way. And then you go to do it just the way the author said, and then for some reason, when you're in front of an audience, you get scared, or nervous, or you're not sure it's working, or you sense danger but you don't know. But because you were told that it works, because it looked like it worked to you when you saw it on a video, of course with your magic mind and your magic student mind watching it, it does look normal to you because you're not thinking like a regular person anymore. You're starting to think like a magician. And so you, at those moments when you feel that fear, you start to doubt yourself because you think to yourself, well, it must be me. I'm obviously frightened or nervous, or why am I freaking out? And what I was trying to explain to Ryan and what I wanted to share with you is that feeling is the most wonderful, beautiful feeling that you can have. That feeling is your intelligence. That's common sense. That's what we would call, if we were Marvel comic book readers, your spidey sense, telling you that there is danger. If you think they might be onto you, it's best to assume that that's a good, honest feeling. Because if you follow that feeling and you address it and you do what it's going to take to make you not feel that way, you can be assured that you are on the correct path to performing better magic. So I got so excited when Ryan told me this because, frankly, if you just do this in the way that I'm doing it right now, it's completely uncovered. It looks a lot like a strange display. I mean, think about it. You've just shown these two kings on the table. Everyone's already seen these two kings. There's the diamond, there's the heart. Now I'm picking them up, and for no particular reason, I'm showing them to you again at the deck and doing this crazy display so that I can then, by any method I want, of course, by any effect I want, make that card appear between them. But what Ryan was sensing in his heart, in his mind, was that this wasn't covered. This was either bad construction if it wasn't given to him with any more composition to it than that, or it was just simply needing some specific cover. Like one specific thing that would make that a lot better, I would think, would be not introducing those kings until this moment. So I can say, okay, for this trick, I'm going to use 2 kings. All of a sudden, that move just got a lot more covered. And the card appears in between the 2 kings. Another way that one might do it is by breaking the thing up while you're talking, right? You say, everybody, watch carefully. I'm going to show you a little piece of magic using the king of hearts, the king of diamonds. Now, once again, not perfect, but slightly more motivated, slightly more covered than the original method. My favorite one that I worked out, that I was talking about Ryan with, that I want to share with you, is something like this. Say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you a little something here with the 2 kings. Oops. Pardon me. That's the king of hearts and the king of diamonds. And I would say, hey, hold out your hand, or watch carefully, throw those in. Spread the cards, and one card appears in between the 2 red kings, the 6 of hearts. I like that method because it doesn't even allow you to get into that same sort of manufactured peeling procedure that to me feels kind of unnatural no matter what you do with it. This way, you're basically applying this idea of Erdnäses, which most cardmen think is an advanced, really advanced idea. The quote in Erdnäs is, the expert, failing to improve upon the method, changes the moment. But really, as you can see from these examples that we're talking about, you don't just need to change the moment if you're talking about the pass or the bottom deal. Any time that there's an unmotivated switch or move or subterfuge or ruse, it's your job to find the correct moment and approach to make it happen so that it's motivated and natural and seems not to happen at all. And I think maybe if Erdnäs were using today's vernacular, or maybe if he was a man of more words, and of course one of the things that makes his writing so wonderful is that he didn't use more words, but when you find a better moment, when you find a more natural moment, a more coordinated moment that feels logical within the context of the routine, you really are improving the method. And I think the moral of the story here, and what I was trying to share with Ryan, and what I want to talk to you about today, is this idea that the method and the moment can never be separate. Because no matter what you do, 80% or more of the card sleights that we need are something unnatural. I mean, we're not just waving our hands and magic's happening. We're doing something that needs to be covered and coordinated into a natural routine, or else it's never going to feel natural. Because magic isn't natural, remember. It's the illusion of naturalness that we're creating. So, those are some thoughts on changing the moment, and I hope you enjoyed them. And if this stuff makes sense to you, why don't you go online to aaronfishermagic.com/coaching.htm and fill out a free student profile. I'll get back to you on how we can start to take some lessons together, and you'll find out that studying with me online is easy to manage, affordable, and the lessons are designed to meet you exactly where you are and help you have the discoveries that you'll need to perform the magic that you've always dreamed of performing. If you want to send me an email, I'm Aaron at Aaron Fisher Magic. You can follow me on Twitter at Aaron Fisher Card, and you can email me to be Facebook friends at facebook.com/Aaron Fisher. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you really soon.